Dave the Builder back again, baby. Jumping on here to show you guys how to make a serpentine table. Ooh, first actual YouTube video. Check me out. So step one, right? You gotta have your material, 3/4 inch plywood. If you look closely, I got 2 sheets. I screwed them in to make it easier, but whatever. You do what you want. So first things first. So pretty much what I do is, it's going to be an 8-foot serpentine table, and what I do is I measure, because I'm going to cut a circle right out of this, or a half circle. So I measure 48 inches, make a mark, and then I go to the other side, 48 inches, make a mark. After I mark my center, I figure I want this table to be 28 inches thick or wide. So I go from this corner to 28 inches, mark, and then the opposite side, 28 inches, mark, and then I go from that side to here, 28 inches down to mark as well. And then I pretty much put my router jig and I lock it in place, and then do my first cut, my first pass. And then once I do that first pass, I will move this closer to where my 28 inch mark line is and do the second pass. What I do recommend is you taking the time out to mark your lines, so that way when it comes down to making the cut, because remember, you have to cut this in half to get 4 equal parts. That way you have a straight line and not trying to figure out later, like, how do I make this straight line? So there's that. But stay tuned for part 2, I guess, of this video. Or, you know, I'll keep recording, who knows. So pretty much what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna screw down a nail to where I need it to go, right around here. So now it's screwed in place, and I'm going to show you first. I do a quick pass just to make sure that it all lines up. And then we go from there. So when I look, so I didn't record the actual cut of me cutting through, but pretty much you cut through the serpentine table, the 8-foot, and then afterwards you would cut the inner arch or the inner piece of the serpentine table. And then once you do that, you know, you'll have 2 big arches, which you would then cut in half at that half mark that I told you about in the video. And then after that, the next video you're gonna see is a clip of the legs. So with the legs, once they're cut, I have the DIY plans. I'll link them here as well. What I do is I attach 2 pieces to the sides of the legs, so that way when you go to screw in the leg, you'll be okay, in the sense of it'll give a little bit more stability. So it'll lock out and click, you'll hear the click, and then those 2 side pieces that you see in the next video will help with stability there. Okay, so I figured the best way to explain this is by just showing you. So pretty much I took the 1x3, or the 1x2, sorry, and I put it along this edge. This is a fourth of the table. And then I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pocket holes into the, from the plywood into this. And then from there, I took one of my strips, the 1.5 inch strips, and I put it along this with nails, with the nail gun, with glue, and then I cut off the excess before I glued it. And then I did the same thing on the shorter side, and obviously on this side, same thing with the pocket holes. Now for the legs are already cut, and then I added 2 side pieces to give it stability so that when it opens, it doesn't wobble too much. And then what I did was to add a little bit more stability. You'll take the pieces that you cut of 1/4 inch ply and you'll attach it. I use nails with glue. You can use a nail gun. And then from there, I'll show it maybe on this one. I then attached my legs. I put 4 screws on this side, and then 3 of the other screws that I have in my plans on that side. And that's really it. And then obviously it's 5 legs. The legs don't have to be any specific way, but obviously you want them all to close and not overlap. So what I did was I did this one first, and then I put it down, which it comes kind of across. And then I did this one in a diagonal, so that way it doesn't bump into this one. And then this one I did kind of straight across again, almost a little slanted so that it doesn't hit this edge. The middle one, I went again on an angle, and then this one, same thing, so that it doesn't hit. And that's pretty much it. And then at the end, you'll connect all 4 pieces, obviously sanding, wood puttying around the edges, so that way, you know, you can avoid like splinters or anything like that. But that's it.